This sewing pattern features a bold shoulder structure inspired by its own iconic namesake. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make it, as well as adding structure to the shoulders without shoulder pads. Prepare your main fabric and fold it wrong sides facing out. Lay out your pattern according to the cutting instruction. These are the grain line, and this means it's cut on the bias. Put these patterns beside for now. This will be cut with a different material. You can either pin it in place or just use pattern weights like I did. Now it's time for cutting. The sewing pattern has 1 centimeter allowance included. Make sure to put notches on important markings, like this and this. Make sure to mark the front facing. They look really similar to the front panel, but it's actually deliberately shorter. So make sure you mark it so you won't be confused. After you're done cutting, just set this aside. Now for the shoulder secret sauce. I use this all the time. It's called hard felt, and I use the 2mm version. We're gonna cut these pieces that will support the shoulders. Don't forget the notch on the back sleeve and the top of the shoulder. For additional support, we sew on Ridgeline on the hard felt layer. Usually I use the 8mm one. Cut your Ridgeline according to size. You can torch the ends before sewing it on. This will kinda melt and fuse the strips together and it won't be pokey anymore. I'll explain later the placement of the Ridgeline strips. So after you're done reinforcing all of the shoulder support, iron them flat. The Ridgeline should be straight along the shoulder. Make sure you're a centimeter away from the edge. And the other should be laid down like this, pointing towards the tip. You can add more Ridgeline if you want more support. For the sleeve, just start from the middle and then work on the other sides. Just make sure you leave a centimeter allowance away from the edge. Now let's work on the facings. Here we have the back facing. Just edge along the center back and the bottom edge. Now we're gonna add the felt support layer onto the back facing. Just lay that on top and pin it in place. This should be 1/2 centimeter away from the main fabric. Sew that in place along the edges. When you're done, it should look like this. To finish off the back facing, all you need to do is sew the center back and finish the hem by simply folding and stitching along the bottom edge. For the front facing, you basically do the same thing. Now take the front piece and put it on top of the facing. Right sides should face each other. And then we're gonna sew along the bottom edge. Once you finish sewing, turn the seam towards the facing and top stitch. After that, turn it over again and sew the center line. Don't forget to snip the edge. This will make it less bulky when you turn it inside out. You can use an owl tool to make it really pointy. Iron it out and you'll end up with this. Nice. To prep the sleeve lining, just edge the bottom part and then fold and do a simple hem. Once that's done, you can now add the support layer and sew it the same way. Sew all around the edge. Make sure the notches match. Sew the sleeve seams together. Snip the corner and then open up the seams and top stitch both sides. This is so the seams are nice and flat. Sleeve prep done, yay! Let's now move on to the collar. Sew the outer edge together. Turn it to the right side and top stitch. After top stitching, you turn it on itself again and sew this side together. Make sure to snip the edge and the extra bulk. Now turn that point inside out. You can use an owl again. Be careful applying too much pressure like I did, or else you'll poke a hole. Iron that out and now it's nice and crisp. Edge the center back and the hemline and simply sew the center backs together and fold and stitch the back hemline. This is what it looks like after ironing. Now sleeve prep. Edge the side seam and the hem. Fold and stitch along the hem of the sleeve, and then for the side seams, just pleat it however you like. You can also gather them. Just make sure the seams will be the same length and that the length is appropriate to your arm length. I'm not very particular in making these pleats a certain size or making them perfect or anything. I just be vibing and sewing, you know. After that, just sew the side seams together. This is optional, I'm just top stitching the bottom, just so it'll be nice and flat. Sleeve prep done. Now we did all of the prep, now we're gonna put it all together. Join the facing shoulder seams together and sew it in place. Snip this curved edge along the shoulder point. Lay the seam towards the front and top stitch in place. After you're done, it should look like this. Now it's time to sew the front and the back. Start from the shoulder seam. Place the back on the front, right sides facing each other. And then just sew along the shoulders. Don't forget to snip the inner curve as well. Now turn the seam towards the back and iron that in place. The shoulder seams should face opposites each other. This is to reduce bulk and so it lays flat against each other. Now let's work on the side seam. Connect the back to the front facing first like this. Make sure to align everything and don't go past the seam line. Snip the excess bulk and snip a teeny bit off here. Now fold it over and sew along the side seam again. Make sure you fold it in nice and snug. After you're done, it should look like this, nice and clean from the front and from the back. To attach the collar, align it with the center back. Make sure the top stitch side is facing down. Pin that in place for now. This is another important point. This is where the collar stops. So make sure you just follow that notch, align it and pin it in place. Here it is, pinned in place. Make sure you pin it only on the front side. Now we can sew that in place. Don't forget to remove your pins as you sew. Important points such as the shoulder seam and the back seam should be perfectly aligned. Before proceeding, you should check for puckering. Now we just have to close the neckline. To do that, you have to flip the entire thing over. Align the center back and the shoulder seams and just sew along the entire thing. On both ends, open up the seams, fold it back and then sew along. Make sure to lock that in place really good. Snip the corners, check for puckering, turn the whole thing over and then poke the edges. Top stitching the underside is optional. You can just iron them in place, but I like to do it because it helps with the crispiness, you know what I'm saying. Just be careful not to sew anything under. See how crispy, you know. And now your collar is done. We're so close to the end, it's almost done. Before we attach the sleeves, sew the armhole together like this and then edge the entire thing. For the sleeve, you put the lining inside and then do the same thing. You sew along the armhole and then edge. Just like this. Now to attach the sleeves, Turn this inside out and then place your sleeves like so. Make sure the notches match and pin it in place. Just simply sew all around and then turn that right side out. It will be a bit difficult turning it. You kinda have to wrestle with it and like poke it. You can also use an awl to like push the seams out. I also like to kinda massage this edge. Now all you have to do is do some ironing to finish it up. For the closure, I'm gonna use a snap button, but you can use a regular button and then sew a buttonhole on the other side. Finally, we're done! Yay! Ta-da! It's so nice. I did not expect this pattern to be my second release. I made something similar for my work, and a lot of people wanted it. So here it is. So nice. So perfect. So pointy. Here's what it looks like on a person. I don't know who this person is, don't ask me. Maybe it's me, who knows. But like, look at it. It's light, no shoulder pads, comfy. This is it unbuttoned. Don't mind the rest of the outfit. I don't have anything else. You can move freely with it, you know, look at me. I mean, not me. Anyways, like and subscribe.